Tonight, I'm going to show you everything you need to make Dubai chocolate cups. And you get to choose. Do you go bougie or budget? Stick around. Greetings, my confectionery compadres, and welcome to Randy Makes Candy, where I help you make tasty treats that people love to eat. The pistachio kataifi chocolate bar, now famously known as the Dubai chocolate bar, is named after two of its main ingredients, pistachio cream and kataifi, which is a shredded phyllo pastry. Both of these are kind of specialty items, which is one of the reasons I hadn't tried it yet, to the great consternation of my daughter. But I recently saw a video by Barry Lewis. Go check him out if you haven't yet, he's pretty awesome, where he replaced the kataifi with shredded wheat. I loved that idea because this channel is dedicated to the idea that candy making should be more accessible. I decided to take it to the next level by trying to make this viral confection using only ingredients I could find at my local Walmart. So that's the idea behind this video. I'm going to show you how to make it with the original ingredients, based on a recipe from the Sift with Kima website. Then I'll do a more down-home version. As always, I'd love to hear about your results if you decide to make your own Dubai chocolate cups, as well as suggestions for other recipes you'd like to see in future videos. But first, we're going to do something hitherto unknown on this channel. We're going on a field trip. Here we are at the local Walmart. Let's go inside and get the stuff we need. The original recipe calls for kataifi, unsalted butter, pistachio cream, tahini, and milk chocolate. Per Mr. Lewis, we're switching the kataifi out for shredded wheat. I can't imagine that'll be hard to find, but let's look. And here we go, one down. Some of the recipes I researched said that almond butter was an acceptable substitute for pistachio, so let's hunt that one down. And there it is, with a lot of different nut butters as well, which might be fun to try. And what's that right above it? Tahini. Last item is the milk chocolate. You know I'm a big fan of melting wafers, and here they are. Ooh, but wait, white and dark, but no milk. Fortunately, there's some chocolate bark here, which will work just as well. Massive success. Okay, let's head to the candy kitchen and get back to our regularly scheduled programming. For the almond cream, I'm using 1 cup of almond butter, 1/2 cup of powdered sugar, 1/4 cup of heavy cream, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and a pinch of salt. For the original version of the candy, I'm using 2½ cups of kataifi, 1 tablespoon of unsalted butter, 2½ tablespoons of pistachio cream, 1 tablespoon of tahini, and 1¼ cups of milk chocolate melting wafers. For the budget version, I'm using 2 large shredded wheat biscuits, 3 tablespoons of almond cream, 1/2 tablespoon of tahini, and 1¼ cups of milk chocolate melting wafers. Traditionally, this confection is decorated by adding some random splashes of color. I'm going to do that with some colored melting wafers. If you don't have colored melting wafers, you can melt some white chocolate wafers or bark and add food coloring. I'm also using some bowls, a spatula, a silicone mold, a rack, a spoon, a sheet of silpat, an offset spatula, a cutting board, a skillet, and a scoop. Okay, let's make some candy. In a large mixing bowl, combine the almond butter and powdered sugar. Add the heavy cream and mix, adding more cream if needed, until everything is well combined and smooth. Stir in the vanilla extract and a pinch of salt, then set the almond cream aside. Prep the molds by melting the colored wafers and adding a bit to each mold cavity. Melt the chocolate, put the mold on a rack, and fill the cavities almost all the way to the top. Use your spoon to bring the chocolate the rest of the way up to the top. Flip the mold over and let the chocolate drain out onto the sill pad. Tap the bottom of the mold to help the chocolate find its way out. Tidy up the mold, then place the mold and the sill pad in the refrigerator until the chocolate is set, about 5 minutes. In a large skillet over medium heat, add 4 tablespoons of butter and stir until it's melted. Add the kataifi and mix until it's well coated with butter. Continue stirring until it's golden brown, then pour it into a mixing bowl. Combine the pistachio cream and tahini, then pour the mixture over the toasted kataifi and mix until the kataifi is completely coated. Spoon some of the mixture into a mold cavity. I used about a teaspoon, but that may vary depending on the size of your mold. Tamp the filling down with a wet finger until it's below the level of the top of the mold. Repeat with the rest of the cups. Remelt the chocolate that was in the bowl and drain onto the sill pad, then spoon the mixture onto the filling, making sure you get full coverage, and let it set. And that's it. Oh wait, we haven't made the budget version yet. It's almost the same as the previous version, but with the following changes. Break apart the shredded wheat biscuits, then use the shredded wheat instead of the kataifi. No need to toast or butter it. Replace the pistachio cream with the almond cream that we made. Other than that, the recipes are exactly the same. And that's really it. Okay, let's have a taste. First, my version of the original. Slancheva. Now the budget version. Slancheva. And as a surprise guest, here's an actual pistachio kataifi chocolate bar. Purchased, interestingly enough, through Walmart. It wasn't in the store, of course. It was shipped for free and still cost $22. Slancheva. First impression, both homemade versions are pretty dang good. Obviously, the flavor is different, pistachio versus almond. If you prefer one over the other, it's an easy choice. You just choose the one you like best. Texture-wise, the kataifi has a much lighter crunch than the shredded wheat. The latter is chewier and more substantial. Certainly not unpleasant, though. Maybe a little more cream, and the almond butter would have lightened things up a bit. The flavor for both is quite enjoyable. The homemade version of the original tastes really better than the store-bought version, but it hasn't traveled halfway around the world, so. The budget version doesn't taste at all like the store-bought version, but I don't think you should expect it to. It stands on its own as a very tasty little confection. If you'd like to make your own version of this viral treat or its equally tasty budget cousin, you really ought to try these. I loved that idea because this channel is dedicated to the eye that candy. The only item that combine the pistachio.